What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raw review. This one is from April 10th, 1995. Before I start, I don't think I should begin the reviews with saying that the card gets run down. Like, this show started with Vince telling us what we're going to see. I don't think that makes any sense. We're eventually going to get to it. So, everything that they're telling us, we're just going to get to it when we get to it. I think I mentioned that before in like one of my first reviews that I wasn't going to do that. I don't know why I wrote that back on here again. But I guess if I didn't say it before, I'm saying it now. Whenever Vince is like the one to start off the show or like the commentary is telling us what's going to happen, I'm just going to pass that. I'm not going to say that. So, for our first match of the night, Adam Bomb versus Tatanka, still accompanied by the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. At WrestleMania, it looked like they were going to dissolve after Bigelow's loss to Lawrence Taylor, but the corporation is still with us. So, skipping to the end of this match, Tatanka goes to the outside and Bomb goes following after. They both fight until the referee counts both of them out. So, no winner for the opening match on Raw. Surprise, surprise. Who saw that coming? As I mentioned earlier, with the $1 Million Corporation still being together, where do they go from here? Bigelow lost to Lawrence Taylor, Tatanka lost his feud with Lex Luger, and they lost their tag team title match back at the Rumble. IRS and King Kong Bundy lost to The Undertaker. Why are they still a thing? They don't win any big matches or have any gold, so why is DiBiase still investing his money into these guys? And I guess last week I didn't mention anything about Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow. If I can remember correctly, once I watched it once before I was doing these reviews, and I enjoyed it for what it was. This time, I didn't care to see it. I wasn't paying attention to that whole match. So, in terms of like what are my thoughts on it, I don't really have any thoughts. I kind of just skipped over it when I watched it this past like before last week's episode of Raw review. I kind of just didn't pay attention to that whole Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow match. But for some reason, I remember watching it a couple years ago and I enjoyed it. Like Lawrence Taylor actually impressed me more than I thought that he was. But then when I watched it back, like for these reviews, I couldn't care less. And Lawrence Taylor looked like he was out of breath like right away. So I don't know what the hell I was smoking on back when I watched it and I thought it was good. So yeah, in terms of Lawrence Taylor, Bam Bam Bigelow, WrestleMania 11, not really anything to go back and watch. But moving on, we have the Headshrinkers, who are far from what they were back when I first started these reviews back in 1993. They are taking on some jobbers. Fatu hits the flying splash for the win. They do still have Lou Albano and Alpha as their managers. I think I said they weren't with them anymore, but they were here for this match, so that's still going, I guess. Captain Lou Albano, when he came out and like introduced these guys as faces, I thought they were gonna do something big with them, but then they kept Alpha with them, and nothing really has changed. Or in terms of like what Captain Lou Albano was gonna do for them, he came out, cut a promo like one or two times for them, and then that was it. Like he still comes out with them, but he doesn't really, he's not really a presence for them. Then we get some words from John Pierre Lafitte, who, if you remember, was part of the Quebecers, who, if you remember, were managed by Johnny Polo, who has recently made his ECW debut in 1995 as Raven. But Lafitte is making his singles debut soon and is now portraying a pirate. And I guess they don't want you to remember him as being part of the Quebecers. They don't even want you to know who the Quebecers were. They never really gave the Quebecers a send off, like a proper send off. I don't remember the last time we saw them on TV. I think they just lost the titles and then they were gone. Like they never had any like rematches, at least on Raw. But yeah, Jean Pierre Lafitte gonna be making a singles debut as a pirate. And over on ECW we have Raven, who just recently made his debut and is feuding with Tommy Dreamer. Moving on, we are getting the footage we didn't see last week when Shawn Michaels was destroyed by Sid. Shawn tells Sid to basically fuck off and turned his back to Sid. That's when Sid decided to attack him and nailed him with a 10-foot powerbomb, not once, but three times. The crowd was behind Sid, but Diesel came out for the save, so not sure here what their direction was Sid was, but the crowd has also been turning on Diesel. I think Sid is one of the guys that is just there and allows the fans to do whatever they want. Like, if they want to boo him, they can boo him. If they want to cheer him, they can cheer him. But Sid doesn't like act one way or another when he's a heel or a face. He just kind of, he's just Sid. Next up, we get a jobber match for Kamal Mustafa. He's wearing his new chain, or at least I believe this is the first time he's wearing it. I can't believe if I forgot this. I believe this happened at WrestleMania. Kama stole the urn from the Undertaker during the match and melted it down and made a chain from it. And while I was actually typing that note, Vince on commentary does say that it did happen at WrestleMania where he took the urn, made it into a chain, whatever. Kama Mustafa then gets a win after a swagger splash, looking into the future a little bit, launching himself off the ropes and splashing into his opponent. So I guess DiBiase does still have a winner in his stable, but he's in a feud with the Undertaker, so he has a winner for now until Kama has to face the Undertaker at some point. After some highlights of a mystery woman attacking Alundra Blaze from last week's Raw, we get some words from Bret Hart along with Bob Holly and the 123 Kid, who are taking on Hakushi, Owen Hart, and Yokozuna in a match next. Getting into the match, Hakushi knees the Kid in the back from the apron, followed by a spinning kick for the team of Owen Hart to get control of the match. The Kid, though, gets a powerbomb on Hakushi and allows him to get the hot tag to Bret. He hits the Bulldog and an elbow drop from his rope. We then get Owen, who gets drop kicked into a pin, and Bob Holly picks up the win for his team. Not really a match to go back and watch, but it is what it is. Maybe it's setting something up for an upcoming episode of Raw, but for now, I didn't see why this needed to be on the show. Maybe it's setting up something where the Kid and Holly will get a chance at the titles, and Hakushi and Bret are going to go one on one. I don't know why Bret doesn't get a tag team partner to feud against Owen and Yokozuna, at least for right now, while he's not in the title picture. So they do announce that the Kid and Bob Holly will take on Yokozuna and Owen Hart for the tag team titles. So the six-man tag match did have a purpose, I guess. That was it for the show, and that's it for the review. I'm going to give this episode a bad grade. The six-man tag match was too quick for it to be worth going back for, and nothing from the rest of the show was worth going back to watch either. Maybe to see the missed footage of Sid attacking Shawn, but that's probably going to get replayed over and over again in the coming weeks leading up to the next pay-per-view. So I'm giving this episode a bad grade. Nothing really to recap or go over any more that I already have. So I'm out. I'll catch you guys on the next review.